Greetings, Math Warriors. Greetings. Greg is back. Another life lesson for the Results Kill Excuses channel. I'm doing a joyride this morning, enjoying life. Are you enjoying life? I hope so. I hope you're enjoying life. I hope you're doing life. I hope life's not just doing you, because there are lots of challenges in this day and age. And what type of mindset do you have when it comes to challenges? Do you embrace the challenge? Do you step up and say, come on now, I ain't giving up, bring it? Or are you somebody that you freeze, you hide, you avoid, you say, oh no, why? And you just kind of give up. Is that you? If it is, there's still hope. There's always hope. There is always hope. If you're willing to re-engage in life and really face the circumstances that are going on around you. But it's really, the circumstances going on around you are really a reflection of what's going on within you. That's the area where we can all improve our vision, is to realize that, man, the things going on all around, especially if there's a certain theme, if you can get to that level of self-awareness where you can start to have a pattern recognition of themes, I guarantee you that whatever the theme is that you're being challenged with, is it relationship issues, health issues, financial issues, communication issues, I can promise you this, that if you will sit there and face these issues, guess what'll happen? Those issues are actually your strengths concealed, waiting for you to truly face them. That if you're facing relationship issues, that means that you're destined for an incredible relationship. If your issues right now are financial, that means that you are destined to have financial freedom and abundance. But it's not going to just happen. It takes you being courageous. And here's what needs to happen. Here is the shift. Here is the essence of the message for today. The lesson for today is, can you sit with yourself? And this is something that I do every morning. We're talking about repetitions. And I do it through journaling. I do it mentally, right? I have some mental visualizations in my mind and I try and feel it. But what we need to do is to be able to write down the things we want to release. You need to release some things from your life, from your mind, from your spirit, from your existence. And it doesn't just start by knee-jerk reactions. It starts by saying, what no longer is serving you? What are you willing to let go of? And as you do, you are sacrificing one thing in order to create space to bring in something that you truly do want and desire for your life. What you need to realize and come to the wherewithal of is, you are a creator. You can create your misery or you can create your mastery. Choice is yours. It takes clarity. It takes focus. It takes a lot of reflection, and it takes absolute honesty about your current situation. But you need to get crystal clear on, what do you want? And as you're thinking about what you do want, you also have to be able to write what you don't want. And guess what? The things you don't want, there needs to be a courage and a strength, and it starts in your mind. You have to start thinking, okay, I want to release these things. Maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a job, maybe it's just releasing fear. The energy of fear. Maybe it's because, like saying, I'm a coward, and you need to sit there and acknowledge, I'm a coward. Tell yourself that. If you feel cowardice about a certain subject where you're just not showing up, you need to sit there and tell yourself, I'm a coward. However, I know that there is an absolute warrior inside of me, that I do have the ability to be courageous, and here's how it starts. I'm going to release my cowardice. And you start in the mind, and then you can write it down on paper. I release. And ultimately what you want to do is go from releasing to receiving. And you should write down a list. These are the most important practices. It sounds elementary, but guess what? We have overcomplicated. Humans, we have overcomplicated the process that it truly takes for us to make transformational changes and shifts in our life. We feel we are destined. We hold on to guilt and shame, and we feel that it's a life sentence if you've made some mistakes or you've avoided some difficult circumstances in your life, and now you should just run and hide and just settle for whatever it is. You're deserving of terrible things. And we even create these entities like God is this judge, and the reason why your circumstances are so challenging is because you're just being judged and you're not worthy enough. And it's like all of that is total bullshit. It's lies that we're telling ourselves, because you can absolutely shift from being in that state of cowardice to being courageous, to really testing these thoughts and these feelings that you have about who? Yourself. Test it, challenge it. Challenge everything that you're thinking. But first, in order to challenge, you have to start to observe what it is that you are actually thinking about. And then you start to say, where is this coming from? And I continue to bring this up because this is a non-negotiable, at least through my experience, is that I had to become mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically clear. And the way that that happens is I had to rid myself of chemical dependencies. That's THC, that's pharmaceuticals for me, that's alcohol. Anything that is capable of distorting your mind, your perception of reality that you're dependent on a regular basis, it needs to go. It needs to go. And that alone turns many people away, because we're just not broken enough yet. We're just not down on our knees begging for a miracle, for help, for saving. Please, please, I can't take this anymore. And it's incredibly sad at how many people tap out. And by tapping out, I'm talking about delete themselves, unalived. Because they just, we can't get past the mental and emotional pain that we are feeling in our bodies, in our minds, in the peril and the hopelessness. And it's like, man, all of these things, it's like we are just failing the exam of this experience called life. You are an eternal soul, so even if you do that, you're coming right back. You're gonna get an opportunity to do it again, try it again. And many of us, this is my belief, that reincarnation, I've had some incredible synchronicities and miracles that have indicated that we absolutely can keep coming back, because this is the purpose, is awakening, the spiritual awakening, being fully immersed in the humanity, the emotions, the weakness, the sadness, the joy, just, the different things that are going on. But absolutely, there is something superior to all of that transcends time, transcends the physical realm. And we can absolutely tap into that too by being present, getting in the here and now. Because most people are what? Holding on to the past, that's being depressed, right? Or we're worried about the future, that's anxious. And it's like all the energy that we give to holding the attachment of the things that have passed that no longer exist, right? Neither of those places exist. And it is so important for us to find the ways to utilize tried and true ways for you to be rooted grounded and centered in the here and now. The number one way that I have found that this works is through focusing on our breath. It's so quick and easy. You just focus on your breathing. Take your focus, let your mind soften, let your thoughts soften. Just really relax. Do a body scan. Just focusing on your breath. It's good if you're in a place that's not too chaotic. You can create a sacred space, a quiet space. That's why the early morning routine with yourself and spirit is so potent. Because once you get beyond that morning routine and now you're out there in the world, it can feel very chaotic. And a lot of us feel like we're so out of control. We feel so forced to be doing stuff. I have to do this and I have to do that. And, we're just overwhelmed. Are you overwhelmed right now? You can take your power back. You absolutely can take your power back. Everything that's challenging you right now, whether it's deeply rooted in your past traumas from childhood or really just something that's showing up in the present, usually they're always tied to each other. You can really start to become that detective, figure out the pattern recognition, and really start to deal with the issues within. Because you have everything you need to solve every problem in your life within you right here, right now. But it is going to take you releasing beliefs and receiving strength, power, clarity, abundance, courage, love, joy, and peace. High vibrational focus versus low vibrational focus. And for me, along this 14-year journey of self-discovery, all the way up through self-mastery, some of the things I've had to release is people, right? Jobs, different connections, but ultimately, those things were challenging, but probably the most challenging thing of all was for me to just release the false identity, the guilt, the shame that I was carrying around inside of myself, the unworthiness. Unworthiness was such a huge issue for me. And where does all that come from? It's all rooted in our childhood, those impressionable years where we are just sponges and we're absorbing what everyone else around us is going through in our earliest years of childhood. And then we start to, it becomes our subconscious programs. And it's the most interesting thing about how we can literally program ourselves based on someone else's circumstances in this life, and then we create it as it's now our identity to perpetuate. And it's not until we get to a place of some kind of a life upheaval or just a day of reckoning that we really start to examine our mortality and examine the substance of what we're made of, what we're truly capable of. It's like we start to question these things in crisis. Crisis really brings out an opportunity for us to grow. Pain is an opportunity for growth, and the more that you can become pain tolerant versus pain avoidant, that's the shift. As I just saw 1414, right? Can you become pain tolerant to do uncomfortable things? There's so many different practices. It's facing your fears. One practice that I do every single day, this is every single day because I shower every single day, is I start with a cold shower. And there's never been a day that I'm so excited to get in the cold shower. And eventually I turn it to a warm shower, and it's very comforting. But the other morning I jumped in as the seasons are changing. It's like I could see the breath on my my mouth. I mean, it was cold. It was an extremely cold shower. And there are days that I'm still a little hesitant, but I have programmed myself over many years to just say, I'm gonna do this. It's uncomfortable. And it's literally embracing suffering in a way that allows me to embrace the challenges of life. It's becoming more mentally strong, more spiritually strong, like to really increase myself as a warrior, to know that I have gotten better and better and better along this journey. I have like transformed myself from the inside out. And yet I'm still in a position on this path that every morning I need to remind myself of all that I have accomplished, and know that there's still many things that I want to accomplish. But there's a lot of people that observe me and say, man, you've done so much. Aren't you content? Aren't you good enough? Can't you kind of just take a rest now? And it's like, no, that's just an outsider's perspective. And they're kind of looking at it from where they're at, saying, man, if I could only be where you were at, I'd be good. And I'm looking, it's beautiful to have the receipts, to see how much I've changed. To see that really we are the author and the editor of our life. And it's a lot to celebrate. It's an incredible experience. And those of you that are leaning in here and really starting to explore your potential, starting to have this awakening beyond the victimization, beyond all the trauma and all the bad things that have ever happened in your circumstances, and trying to say, you know what? Can I do this? Is what he's saying and maybe other people are saying about this whole transformation, that if I just start making the decisions and start showing up for myself and really investing in myself, letting go of these distractions, letting go of the things that are just really draining me of my time and my energy and not really giving me something in return that's improving my life. That's the measure that I have every day, everything I do, right? And there are times that I say, you know what, I know this isn't going to be beneficial for me, but that's a part of the humanity, is I can say, you know what, but I want to still experience it. And that's cool. But I promise you, that is like sparingly. It's like, I love ice cream, I love cake, I love sweets, I love really incredible baked, yummy stuff. But I do not eat that shit every day, because if I did, I would look like a cake. I'd look like a jelly roll, right? So I have it sparingly, and I make those decisions to say, this, I know this isn't beneficial for the overall goals and the things, but it's just a part of my humanity. I still want to enjoy those things. And I'm not harming myself by abstaining for them, because I know I have a bigger vision for my overall health and wellness. And that is not a part of that box. So it's sparingly. And the other part of that is just really, what other aspects of your life and do you need to start to make peace with, to say, this isn't good for me. This isn't in alignment with me becoming the best version of myself. If you give two shits about being the best version of yourself, becoming the next best version, really start to recultivating a hope and a belief that your greatest wants, needs, desires, and dreams are absolutely possible if you believe they're possible and you're willing to start embarking on making changes and taking action. You can create anything you want. There are gifts and talents just waiting for you to discover about yourself that you have lacked the confidence and the courage to really express these things to yourself and to the world. And that's why the mental clarity is so important along this journey. Can you release the false identity? Can you release all of the insecurity about what other people think about you? That's a powerful force, is really being held back by a deep desire for needing to be accepted by the world at large. And then it's like, man, I need to be accepted. I need to feel like I belong. I need that social connection. I need that social identification, or else, I'm just unworthy. I'm not good enough. And it's like, we hide, man. We love to hide in groups. We align ourselves with groups and we hide. I mean, unless you're the leader of the group, most of the time you're hiding in the group. You're showing up to the group and you're just blending in, and it's giving you a sense of purpose and meaning, but it doesn't, if it's not fulfilling you, these are the conversations you need to have with yourself. And I remember this along my own journey. Quick story is, when I was still in my wounded state versus the healed, wounded and broken versus, which is lower self identification, versus, higher self, which is healed and divinely aligned. I used to be very active in community organizations. I used to get on all kinds of boards. I even ran for city council a couple times, right? Really trying to say that, look, I'm gonna be a part of stuff because that gives me meaning. That makes me feel like I'm important. And only you know your true intentions. I believe most of us have good intentions when we do these things. I used to volunteer a tremendous amount going to disasters. But I can be honest with myself to know that my intentions were not always pure. That I did find a sense of importance and significance by being a part of these things. And when I started to heal, when I started to get sober, when I started to really evaluate myself, guess what I did? I released myself from all of the things that I was a part of. I went to a clean slate. I wanted to have a completely clean slate. And I got a lot of pushback because I went to these groups that I was participating in. They said, thank you so much for letting me be a part of this, but I need to resign. I need to step away. And people were like, what? No, come back. And, that's their want for me. But I knew that I just needed to have a clean slate. I needed to look at a blank canvas of my life. Again, that was breaking up with my addiction to alcohol. It's like I needed to release that. I released the alcohol. I released the substances, right? So I'm just like shedding all of these things, right? Shedding all of these things I was carrying around. And I'm continuing to shed things, false identities of unworthiness, of shame, of guilt. And it's like, and it feels so good that when you can have a blank canvas. And the beautiful thing is, every single day, I start with a blank canvas. Every single day, I'm able to say, okay, positive. Wow, I'm abundant. I'm healthy. I'm strong. I'm sexy. I'm rich. I'm stable. I'm healed. I'm worthy. These are the affirmations, and to see it and to believe it. Not just to say I am, but now I feel all those things. I see all those things. I see me as all those things. I believe that I am all these things. And little by little, I've flipped my paradigm from being broken and wounded to being healed and divinely aligned. And I've completely taken my power back. And at this point, there's a lot of the things I used to do, guess what? I don't really have a big interest in doing those things. I would much rather do this thing, which is to share a message of hope and optimism, and know that there are millions and millions upon millions of other people around this world that are also searching for some sort of a direction, a path, a system that can guide them beyond their self-sabotaging, self-medicating, self-loathing, self-abandoning, lower self-state of being, the broken, wounded versions of ourselves. But it takes a spark of awakening to start searching, to no longer be just living subconsciously and not living conscientiously, which is like the two segments of the mind. You can be conscientious or you're running subconscious, and that subconscious is usually wounded programs of survival. When you start conscientiously inserting through repetition the positivity, the belief, right, the superiority of who you can truly be in this life, the next best version, right, you start to rewrite your subconscious programs. And again, I think some of these things that exist in this world that are meant to just make us feel like, oh, it can happen instantaneously, are meant to just keep us in a state of never getting fully there, never fully arriving, never fully rewriting the programs. Just far enough to think you've arrived. But did you really do some work? Did you really invest countless hours in really becoming the next best version of yourself? Or did you look for the quick fix? Did you look for something that allowed you to basically have the cheat code? Right? Did you get the cheat code so that you didn't have to play the level? You got to warp yourself all the way to the end. And yet you feel unfulfilled. Do you still feel like, wait, nothing's really changed underneath the surface? I feel a little better about myself, but nothing's really changed. I'm still kind of struggling with these things. I know that's been my experience. If it's been yours, comment down below, right? You never know how your comment could be read by another person, that they could finally feel seen and heard. And that's really the essence of the message here at Results Kill Excuses, is building a community of like-minded people that are on this healing journey, this spiritual awakened path to become the best version of ourselves, to no longer allow our excuses to have power over us, that we're taking our power back. Take your power back. Now is the time, right? And if you're looking for something to truly help transform yourself and really hold yourself accountable, because that is the key. You got to be willing to do the work, and you got to hold yourself accountable. No one can do the work for you, but that doesn't mean we have to do it alone. In this community, we can support each other. We can lift each other up. And if you're looking for something, I highly encourage you, check out the Results Kill Excuses 1% Better Everyday Journal. Even if you just start with Volume 1, 91 days to truly prove to yourself that you can show up for yourself. I guarantee you, if you do the work for 91 days, you will not be the same person. And you will probably continue on the journey of getting 1% better every day. Not feeling overwhelmed, doesn't have to be transformational overnight. It's just a steady, consistent, repetitive process of you working on you, reprogramming all the negativity, right? Starting to heal the emotional stuff, sitting in that. And the beautiful thing is I'm there coaching you for the majority of that journey with coaching videos. It's literally a master class packed into a journal with video courses from yours truly, from my heart to your heart, from my soul to your soul. So if you feel like you're compelled or interested, you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, Greg at resultskillexcuses.com, or just pull the trigger. Let me send you a 1% Better Everyday Journal, even if it's Volume 1, or if you want to get the Volume 1 and 2 bonus pack. That's 6 months. That's 6 months. That gets you from now all the way through into April of next year. I mean, that's kicking down the door to 2026, and that's really starting to transform yourself so that when you look back a year from now, you're not the same one. And you got receipts. It's not just saying I'm different, it's knowing, because you have created the story that you desire by releasing what no longer serves you and by receiving the trueness of who you are, the blessings, the many, many blessings, right? Really building yourself up, becoming your best friend, right? I encourage you to take a look at 1% Better Everyday Journal. But thank you so much for subscribing to the message. I hope that these messages continue to inspire you to keep going, to stay locked in. This is a daily journey. Try to have no 0 days. Always just 1% better. Moving in a positive direction. Always be filtering in the now. What's the best move you can make right now? What's the best decision you can make for yourself today? What is something you can do today? Just one thing. What's one thing that you could do today that would improve your life? One thing. That's all it takes. Write down, think about, meditate on one thing, and then take action on that. I'm cheering for you. I'm rooting for you. I'm here for you. I love reading your comments, so please don't hesitate. Don't be shy. I know it's, we have a system out here in social media where there's trolls, and I haven't seen the trolls show up on this channel. I mean, they usually they're attacking me, but I've never seen anybody attacking another person for really being vulnerable and open. And I'm telling you, your openness, just like mine, has the ability to really have a ripple effect. So don't hesitate to share something about yourself here. I promise I will make every effort to really engage with you and give you a thoughtful response. So I do appreciate all the comments. So let me know about yourself. Keep tuning in. Keep putting in the work to become the next best version of yourself. I love you guys. I'll see you on the next one. You know the drill. Results kill excuses, because if it was easy, it wouldn't be worth it. Greg's out.